Kind of a tough day today, as I did adjust my motor mounts and rotate them so the motor would move forward, but I found some other problems. So first I'm going to show you kind of what happened. So adjusted the motor mounts and got that to come forwards and down a little bit, which is great. Still have room for the fan in front and the radiator. Then I was able to push my transmission forward and rotate it so it would mate up, and I actually bolted it up. Everything's great. Now I'm looking at the transfer case and seeing that I've got a mismatch here. The mounting is a few inches back, like 4 inches back, and so the shifter for the four-wheel drive comes up through the floor too far backwards. It really should be where the hole is, but instead it's right underneath the drive selector, PRND L. So that's no good. Now if I do transfer the Lexus T case, it would line up, but I still have this problem, which is the drive shaft. Because that stick is set back, the transfer case is set back, the drive shaft in the front, the propeller shaft would need to be longer, and the one in the back, the drive shaft, would need to be shorter. So like I said, that one moved back, so I would need a little bit longer drive shaft. No good. I could possibly use the GX drive shaft for the front propeller shaft. That would work. The big problem is this rear drive shaft getting shorter because the T case is further back. I would have to go to a custom drive shaft, and they look to be about $400 or $500 for those. So I don't really want to do that option. So now I'm in the predicament of, should I move the engine trans even further forwards? And to do that, what I can do is take the motor mount. It's kind of an odd shape, but you'll see why I'm drawing it like this. So right there is where it mounts up to the frame, and in the four corners, those mount to the engine. This is like the engine bracket that attaches to the engine mount. So the engine mount center bolt goes through here. Then these 4 bolts go to the engine. Now see how the mount is further to one side than the other? If I actually swap these from left to right, from passenger to driver's side, and I'll show you by rotating this, I can get the engine to move forward or back. So watch as I rotate. That center hole for the mount actually moves, and so that will allow me to move the engine forwards. So I may go back to doing this, but the problem I originally had with this was that the oil pan was hitting the steering and the drive line, the front diff axle. So I have to be careful of that, and I have to kind of find a solution to that. I might need a diff drop or something else, and then check the transmission again. So this is kind of a bummer, but luckily I still have my hoist and I can try it out. So I'll let you know what happens next. Hopefully I can get it going, because I don't want to buy new drive shafts. I don't want to have to cut a new hole and move the drive selector and all that stuff.